Hello again, this is OYQEA and we are back. No, I haven't been slacking off on the channel, nor have I been slacking off on the RTXless walkthrough. I'm just a bit starved for shot ideas for that next teaser. But hey, we're trying new shit, which is why I'm following up my Portal Retract Part 1 playthrough with Portal Retract Part 2. Now, similar to Part 1, I helped playtest this mod and give feedback, so I got to watch it grow and develop over time. So I may have a bit of bias towards it, but it is a damn good conversion of the latter half of Portal 2 into Portal 1's engine. Now, given some of the features of this, its installation is a little more complicated and stuff. Instead of using SDK base 2013, it instead uses the Alien Swarm branch of the source engine. So you're going to need to download Alien Swarm in order to play it. Now, the reason for this is this version has paint maps, aka what's required to have paint on surfaces in Source. So yeah, Source SDK 2013 single player wouldn't work for that reason. It also requires SFM as well, partly so that it loads in any Half-Life 2 assets. Aside from that, it's pretty much good to go, so let's go through it. Right, when we last left our heroes, the game may lag a bit in this is something that can't really you learn to roll with chips. Let's here. So yeah. Okay, now I just want to give my 2 cents. Wonderland War toss between a lot of different sound effects for the Repulsion Gel, wanting something a bit more realistic than the more cartoony sound heard in Portal 2. There's a bunch of different options and stuff, and while I kind of get what he was going for and stuff, I'm not particularly a big fan of the final. To be fair, I wasn't too big on the previous choices either. It's just you can't win. But oh well, what can you do? Overall, it doesn't really experience that much. Oh, also, because the paint maps are a bit buggy in the Alien Swarm branch, you can't actually adjust advanced video settings in any map that has paint in it. And also all grabbing can break some things. There's a reason why I'm doing things the way I am and stuff. I literally full screened my game and stuff just so I could get 1080p. There are parts where I kinda like this and stuff, like, made me realize that a lot of the chambers in Portal 2 hold your hand, like, a lot. Everything feels very plain. Whereas in here, a lot more is up to chance. probably explain by my reason that it's still here right now. I'm having some weird difficulties with my keyboard lately. It's everything to be like. Sometimes my W and E keys respond. Okay. Okay. And sometimes they do respond when I don't want them to. That's the other problem. Oh. Oh. Gotta admit, it's pretty fun. Oh. Yes. So yeah, don't blame any frame drops on me and stuff. It's just, it's kind of painful, of course, with this one. I know the solutions by now. I've gotten like most of them and stuff. So, and kind of seems, in a way, you know, I had seen this. Wasn't exactly his, or I don't know. Stuff is confusing lately. Like, just, this wasn't exactly one of Landlord's first foray into porting Portal 1 content to Alien Swarm. Because there's like another video on their channel that basically shows some progress of it. General ratings of and stuff like particles actually. Crazy box. Give me the box. Box. I'm a lot more concerned in this because it can't kill them. It can kill them. This Portal 2 here would say because I'm still and there's chapter 6. Now, pretty much a lot of it, when it first started off, like, the only first propulsion and the first, like, excursion part of the thing. And, you know, not all more completion stuff. I think realizing that I messed something up. I think I was playing this around the same time that I was working on RTX lists. In fact, I think the first version of RTX list came around the same time as stuff. I don't know which chapter. It was It was either one or two. It's been a while. And, well, it was great. And of course, no. And a little anecdote about RTX and stuff. Like, there was a lot that I at least had don't know about GS. Not for RTX lists that intermediate into like this build and stuff. Okay, yeah, it was definitely something we wanted to. It's just we never exactly got around to doing so. And so eventually, like a few months later, we build like the 1.2 release to remedy some of those issues, and so try and rectify the trailer as well. If you now go to his channel, you'll see all the trailers are gone and stuff. He wants that to be like the trailer to dominate one, especially since it's like a remake of the RTX trailer. And yeah. But yeah, there were a few things plaguing this game. Okay, I remember when you could still paint the elevators. That was fun. Kind of missed that, actually. I should remember that. Yeah, I still keep builds of every single retract build I tested. I never trashed the builds and stuff. They're on like a network drive somewhere. I think part of the reason I kept some of them is because they actually, some of them actually still used like Portal 2 models as placeholders, and, you know, I wanted something to consult back to and stuff. It's like, I confess I'm too lazy to port models. Like, oh. I probably shouldn't have said that and stuff. I want this and take that the wrong way. And one thing I do have to say in his favor though, Wonderland War is like pretty much a master of just Portal 1 style in general. Like, the attention to detail and accuracy is just like, I don't know how he does it, but he just does, and it's where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about RTX. So yeah, one issue that I've been plaguing this if this was an issue of like normal prelude as well. Just random crashes and stuff on level 8. I narrowed down a few specific locations where they happened. One of them was like in the main series, we're going up the ladder, and you had to be like extremely lucky to like actually crash there. And I figured out that some of it had to be attributed to like a few vis leafs throughout the ship. But for like, there was also another one when coming back with the morality core. Initially I thought was, I initially thought that it was attributed to an area portal and stuff like some type of grizzly openings. But then we actually found out the real issue and it was apparently due to like the GLaDOS streams and stuff. Now, but I did notice this later when going back to regular Portal and stuff. Occasionally when walking to like the final GLaDOS room, there will be like some random lag spike and stuff. And this is apparently caused by like the GLaDOS screens loading in. This was also consequently an issue for Portal Premium as well. And went back and forth trying to fix it. And so the solution we ultimately went with was just a job solution where there's like this trigger in the trigger multiple in the final hallway before you enter the central floor area. And what it essentially does is what the fuck? It's supposed to be going down. I've never had this happen. Anyway, where was I? Oh, there we go. Okay, anyways, now I can... anyways, what was happening basically was, after having looked it over, oh yeah, I already told... So the way we solved it was basically like, we stuck a triggered multiple in there, and we essentially ended up sticking the what's it called again? Oh yeah, right. Essentially, like, whenever you're in that trigger, it basically disables the screens and stuff. And once you step out of it, it re-enables them. And so we extended it into hallway and stuff where you go up to the thing and stuff. And I basically extended it right to the point where when actually see it and stuff, if anything you wouldn't see it flows out. And here we are in Chapter 8, The Itch. What happened to all the Frankentoys? Yeah, whatever. Going off frolicking somewhere. I do like this little section here and stuff to segue the chamber. Especially since this is basically just a box on button. But yeah. I'll probably elaborate more and stuff like that. This is supposed to be more about Retract Part 2 and stuff, but this is, you know, I'm playtest this thing. I didn't really contribute it last time. Kinda wish I did though. I am considering making a backpack for Retract. one or two chambers, stories meld. And the excursion funnels with this, pretty awesome actually, Portal 1 style excursion funnel. Once again made by Hazel Webs. So, I wasn't too big on the sound design used for this at first, but then it grew on me, and then when I learned more added muffled effect whenever you're in the thing and stuff, so it's a bit more subtle now. Returning to mapping, the Portal the Flash version map source is released recently. Speaking of things I don't give a fuck about. I probably shouldn't say that. I have been meaning to use those for something. I won't remember exactly what this is at the moment. 21 minutes already. Doing a lot of this is starting to remind me of like Portal 2 maps. I wonder how those would work portals. Taking care of no, Portal Internet Archive and stuff. I'd say it's coming along nicely, but I do need to like restructure it because I accidentally mixed a few things up with it. Actually, I accidentally left some loose WAV files in from like an add-on and stuff, and it unfortunately caught up with those. So it was like, and it started making derivative things, so oh, the faith plates in this, a bit of an interesting story. Apparently all the movement for all the faith plates in this, at least for physics objects using them, in Retract Part 2, had to be faked and stuff because it was extremely glitchy. So it's using a weird hack together version of it, but somehow it still works. And I even tested the Retract Part 1 maps on this and stuff. Yeah, the cube maps were kind of fucked. That's actually why I don't think any of these use full cube maps. Okay, some of them do. Oh, like, you know, they use some type of cube. Just to be definite. Whatever it is. I do remember there was like a brief period of time and stuff. Like, the faith plates didn't work properly and it would just launch you straight forward with a bird and stuff. Like, I did try a few just Retract Part 1 maps back then, just for the heck of it and stuff, and I got to like the intro to faith plates and stuff, and I got on the... And this only applied to horizontal ones, not straight up and down ones. And then you get on the faith plate, you just go like, what the? And just fall right into the... And then in stuff like, stuff like Ricochet, you basically expect to, you know, go off like the like ricocheting and stuff, and instead it would just launch you forward into like the closest wall. Admittedly, it was kind of funny. Got rectified. Wow. Ow. Bruh. Let's go as I do know that there is actually someone who goes retract as a base to basically just port over the entirety of the world. And the props that this kind of shit stuff. Like the 13 me would be freaking.
There you are, targeting us. Deploying. And sentry mode active.
Just realizing we're actually turning on connections. To be fair, aside from turret dialogue, there's
activated.
Nice.
Are you still there? Goodness.
It's not normally how I was. Back we come to my two least favorite chambers to test. Not in the base game, mind you, it's just in my favorite pieces. There's like. It's just. They're fine. Kinda, but there's just like one like fatal flaw in both. I forget. There's like this one and the next one that just drags down the whole experience for me. And for this one, we've already gotten it's coming up in a pretty soon. I still love how the I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah, this was what did it for me. Like, I'm fine with this. It's platform speed. I get this is how it probably was in Portal 1. This is just way too goddamn slow. I could literally, like, step away and, like, make a sandwich in that period of time. A sloppily made sandwich, but a sandwich nonetheless. Oh, fuck. No. I got. And that's the first time I've actually fallen off. So that means I gotta get through the platforms. Yeah. 8 years later, I finally got. So yeah, make up 2 sandwiches. This part is luckily I raised everything a bit. Shit. excursion food. I kind of like to think. And that's what I mean about, like, Portal 2, everything seems a bit more pre-calculated and stuff like that. If a cube falls towards a portal 99.9% of the time in Portal 2, it's going to fall. In the 1, anything goes. Which is partly the reason why I hated laser chain. You know, I just want to go out of a record. I'm not a fan of, like, a funny story and stuff. I remember he was actually worried a little bit and you know, me having to find like a laser replacement of that. And then he was reminded that there actually was a laser field in the still aligned map. Sure, they were partly based in that. It still was in a retail portal recounts. Ow! Wait. Okay, this is the first time in the history of ever that I think I've ever actually made it onto this endgame instead. But yeah, the same fatal flaw, in my opinion, is what drives this challenge. Like, the platforms are just unbelievably slow. To be fair, in some cases, I actually kind of prefer it if it's slower. Like here and stuff, like getting the cube to fall on those, like I said, Portal 1's more of an anything goes type thing. And, so yeah. Mostly over. Oh, I got it first try. I'm going to save here. I don't want to risk it. Ow. That was very unpleasant. There we go. Back to, yeah, sorry if I'm yawning. I'm recording this at like 1 in the morning. Matter of fact, I'm actually kind of worried that I'm not recording my voice properly. Like, it might not even be proper. So, you know, if this ends up being a seamless way through, then at least I tried. I do like that these servers are portable. And yes, there are challenges as well, just like in Retract Part 1. I'm not doing those personally because I kind of suck at those and stuff. Though I am worse on console. I recently picked up a collection of co-op my friend and collaborator. And you know, it was experience and stuff. You know, just trying to still a lot of challenges. It's like I never realized how much I liked mouse and keyboard better. Okay. Should be the last one. Through there. Now, since I actually do still shoot at you through glass, I mean, like, it's actually kind of funny, but by the time we even get to this part, the entire, like that button over there is basically just like riddled. Case in point, just a comedic amount of bullets. Now we get to the last map in the game, and most of the set pieces, which is actually this time it's not exactly this time. No. It's a bit of puzzle platforming. Nothing too big. It's just a nice reactive sound. There's the set piece. Just the hole in the roof of aperture. I can have feel of it as voltage looking at this. I'm not kidding this stuff. These seem to be and honestly, also I think it was the actual... And that was Portal Retract Part 2. Yep. So yeah. And just gonna let the credits play out as we... And I think recently he made like sources for both Retract and Retract, at least with source code for them, open source for anyone who wants to use them. I considered it, that would require me knowing how to program and stuff. I don't have no advanced maps this time. Sad, I know. So that's probably gonna hold me. Oh, but there is one cool thing and stuff. I'm just going to like load into a random map and stuff. This actually has the paint gun in it. It's... I actually don't know how to do this and stuff, like give item. I usually just spawn in like an HEV suit. Paint gun and stuff, but I think it's bound to like the same slot and stuff, so it's not doing it and stuff. But with enough finagling, you can actually get a working version of the paint gun and stuff. There's a few in there. But, yeah. On that note, I'm probably going to end it here, but that was just over a really fun experience and stuff. So, yeah. I also want to give a few channel tags and stuff in terms of where things are at the moment real quick. Linkin Park mashups, those are currently on hold. I want to do some like From Zero type stuff. Because I feel like I've exhausted the Meteora stuff. Maybe do some Minutes to Midnight as well. I got ideas after the first time while in England recently. And for the PortalMod playthroughs, in combat and stuff, I want to get the prelude stuff done first and stuff. I'm still working on like those teasers and stuff. I can't think of shot ideas and stuff. Hardly there are 1980s themed, at least in my opinion. Unless anyone can tell me otherwise. Like, if anyone can link me a good 90s, like, please let me know. And in terms of other playthroughs, we've got like the Portal Stories Mill and the Forbidden Testing Tribes playthrough. I really want to get into like more mod, like Mindscape. And aside from that, I think that's about it for now. Yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.